Hey everyone, happy Saturday to all of you. My name's Brandon Cunningham, and I'm excited to be able to share a little bit of time with all of you this morning. For those that don't know, this is being aired all over the United States and outside of the United States. So there's people everywhere that are going to be joining us and getting this information. It's exciting. We enjoy sharing this information, and I'm privileged to be able to have the opportunity to share with you some of the things that we're really excited about and that have changed our lives. And so I hope you're comfortable. I hope you're ready to get this information. And for those of you that have been a part of what we're doing already, thanks for coming back. Thanks for inviting people to this. And we're going to have a good time for the next couple minutes. So why are we here? Well, let me just start with kind of why I'm here. A few years ago, I was introduced to this amazing product called Protandim, and we looked at it because, I wasn't a kid anymore. I realized that I wasn't going to feel like I was 20 years old for the rest of my life. I had already started to develop some aches and pains, and I was interested. Besides that, cancer runs through my family. My grandfather died in his early 50s from cancer. I had a small bout with cancer that did require surgery, like, general anesthesia, the whole thing. And so when we heard about this product, we were interested. And so we took a look. We were, married at the time. I've been married now 26 years, got 2 kids, and I come from a background of traditional business, probably a lot like you guys. Once I got out of high school, I wasn't ready for more school. I was ready just to get into the workforce, and that's what we did. And things worked out. We were able to be kind of in the right place at the right time. But there came a moment where I was just making money for the family, and this was introduced to me. And so it was a perfect fit. We care about our health. I care about my family and their health. And obviously we need money to survive in this world. And I saw this as an opportunity where maybe we could take advantage of it. And so maybe you'll feel the same. And so let's start out with a quick video that will give you some insight to where we started. Now, the video's got some age on it, and sometimes people go, well, that's an older video. Exactly. It kind of shows that we're not new to this game. This game of nutrigenomics, some people are calling biohacking, is something that we started many, many years ago, and it's exciting to see that we now have proof. And we'll talk a little bit more about that after this video. But what you're about to see is an ABC News report on the show Primetime. You'll probably recognize either the logos or recognize the reporter that's in the video that we're going to show here. But I just want you to watch. I just want you to watch from a perspective of your health and possibly who you want to take this product. And I also kind of want you to put your business cap on and think, is there some profit potential in this? Do you see something that maybe we see? So give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen, and in doing so, we'll have this video up and running here in 1 second.
The following is an ABC Primetime investigative report that aired in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life.
It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Dr. McCord, okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And as decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Can we scoop? Yeah, there we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes.
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
And I feel the same way, everyone. You know, when I saw that video for the first time, my first thought was, I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old to find out that I should be taking the product. And so we started taking the product right away and started just digging into what this really was from a product offering. And to keep it simple, we can tell you that when you take Protandim from the very first tablet, hours after you take it, your body is already starting to protect itself and repair itself the way it did when you were much younger. And within a few weeks, this oxidative stress, it's rust inside your body, is reduced by 40% on average. We can say, because it's been tested and borne out over and over and over again, that when you take Protandim, it will reduce oxidative stress in your cells by 40% on average, sometimes more than that. And something that we just highlighted on one of our team calls is the probability factor of this. And I won't dive deep into that, but basically what the probability is, or p-value is, to our studies, because our studies now, over 20 peer-reviewed and published studies on PubMed about Protandim. That is mind-blowing stuff right there for those of you who know what PubMed's about. I didn't, like I told you. I got a phone call from a relative of mine that said, Brandon, you should take a look at this. Actually, the call was to my wife, and my wife said, Brandon, take a look at this. But this probability factor, guys, is huge, because it basically says that if 10,000 people took Protandim, that 9,999 of them would have the results that I just told you, which is far, far exceeds what many pharmaceutical companies will use or have as proof that their product works. Far exceeds it. So we know it's going to work. It will reduce the age-dependent markers in your body when it comes to oxidative stress. It's an enormous thing. We don't say that we treat, cure, prevent, or mitigate any diseases. We don't, right? but I can tell you that it will reduce oxidative stress, and it will work because it works for everyone that takes it. It is working. Now, what will you feel? That's kind of the question, right? And that's really up to your body and how your body has handled oxidative stress up until this point, how much oxidative stress you have. It is age dependent many times. So that means the older you are, the more oxidative stress you have. Some people are more sensitive to their body than others. And so they will be able to identify real quickly some things that are going on in their body. Other people are not so sensitive. And so it's a little harder for them to tell what's really going on. But you don't feel high blood pressure. You don't feel like, even when you do good things, right? You don't, when you drink water, you don't necessarily feel that right away, other than the thirst going away. You just know it's good for your body. And we know that Protandim helps your body. And in fact, if you take it long enough, we know that your body's repairing itself at the same levels or rate as a newborn baby. And so for me, what did I feel? I started taking the product, and within a few weeks started to notice my sleep improving, the quality of my sleep. And how did I know that? Because the next day I had more energy, and there was no any other reason. Like, I didn't change my diet. I also started paying more attention to that, my sleep cycles, because I wasn't going to bed any earlier. Because if you just get more sleep, you would say, well, that will give you more energy. Actually, I was getting just the opposite, meaning I was waking up earlier. And I knew this because I had babies in the house. I get small kids. And when the kids can get out of their crib, what they do, feet down the hallway, into your room, into your bed, and then they're like hitting you and kicking you, and you're up. And I started waking up before my alarm clock with kids in the bed. And I was out sleeping. And so how amazing is that I was able to get better quality sleep and have more energy through the day. Now, that's kind of some of the first things I noticed. Since then, I dealt with, before then I was dealing with sinus issues. And I had some big flare-ups a couple times a year. And since I've started taking Protandim, I have not been to the doctor for any sinus issues. In fact, I went to the doctor just for normal checkups, and they just said, it's crazy that in your files, you haven't had any prescriptions in years. And I can tell you now, it's over 9 years. And so we don't know how Protandim is going to work for you or anyone individually, other than to say we know it will reduce oxidative stress. We know those things are connected to some really, really bad health issues. And we know that Protandim works, and it's been proven through science. And so some people are taking this information and they start asking more questions like, where can I get it? Or how did you find out about this? What's going on here? And what's going on is it's as big a story as the product story. Meaning, how do you get your hands on the product, and maybe how you can participate with us in sharing this incredible information and getting paid to do so. There are a lot of people that are not where they want to be financially. In fact, many people are becoming more and more frustrated at where they are financially. They thought maybe they would be in a different place financially at the age they are in life. And those people, just like you and me, from all walks of life, are taking advantage of this. And that's kind of what I want to show you right now in a short clip, is some people that have managed to get this information one way or another, have taken some simple steps, and how it's making an impact in their life. So I'm going to share the screen with you one more time, and we're going to go to that video clip.
I clearly remember waking up one day and thinking that this is what every day is going to look like for the rest of my life. You know, wake up, get the kids ready for school, go to work, come home, feed the kids, go to bed, and do it all over again the next day.
The exact moment, I know when it was. I was watching my grandma get ready for work, She's 75 years old. She didn't want to go to work, but she had to.
Well, it hit us like a flash of lightning. Isaiah and I were working on what we were going to do after he retired and put numbers together, and turned out that we would need $2 million if we lived to be 80. Yeah, $2 million. There's no way, right?
The economy tanked and my firm went under, and I'm not looking for a job, you know? I'm overqualified, and they got these college kids getting out of college that are willing to work for pennies. You know, I thought, you work hard, you're loyal to the company, and everything's going to be fine, but that just wasn't the case.
I was excited about my job, you know, I was positive about it. It was the job I always wanted to have, but then I realized that all I was doing was working. Long hours, weekends, and one day when I was in the bus, I saw this park, beautiful park, families playing, and I realized I never do that anymore. What can I do so I can live today and not wait for some unknown future so I can start living my life?
You know, I had this degree from an amazing university, all my friends did, and we thought that when we got out of college that we were going to be able to find a job just like that. And that wasn't the case. You know, we got out, couldn't find a job in our field, and that was when I decided that something needed to be different.
Can you believe 70% of people in the US won't be able to retire, like my grandma? It made me realize that I needed to do something different for my family outside of that broken system.
I had to take control.
I just knew something had to change, you know?
Nobody was going to determine my worth but me.
I learned about protandem and how it was the result of a huge scientific breakthrough in something in our bodies called NRF2. It's actually a protein in our genes.
Oh yeah, I mean, Harvard, LSU, Ohio State, University of Colorado, Denver.
Texas Tech, Virginia Commonwealth, Colorado State.
Free radical biology, the American Journal of Physiology, circulation. I read them all.
I even watched ABC Primetime, NBC Today show. I mean, I wanted to know everything, and it was indisputable.
This product was proven over and over again.
Well, the study showed that protandem was literally combating the effects of aging at a cellular level. Just as soon as I realized that I could have a business and it helped people, I mean, everybody says that they want to help people, you know, but we really do. I really help people.
Yeah, for me, it was a big deal that we were a global public company traded on the NASDAQ. I mean, just knowing that we hold ourselves to a higher standard of responsibility, of quality, transparency, and that was important to me.
And then the check started coming. I actually even have my very first check in a place where I can see it, just to remember how once upon a time life was passing me by.
Well, it wasn't huge, of course, when we first started, but we started making enough to pay things like groceries and rent, and last month we even took a vacation. And now we have a retirement, right?
Well, my favorite thing is when they ask me, so what do you do for a living? And I tell them, I help people. And I do. I help people retire. I help people be happy. That's my job. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, I mean, with a franchise, I mean, really, I would just be managing someone else's business. But with LifeVantage, this is my business, and it's how I support my family. But I also get to live my life. You know, I get time to spend with my family and my kids, and I'm present now, rather than my mind being somewhere else.
I feel like this is the first time in our lives that we don't wonder what our future is going to look like.
It's a group, you know, I'm not alone. I love it. I'm not alone, and I don't have to worry about people trying to climb over me to get ahead, or people hoping that I fail within the company. It's the people that I work with now actually care about my success. You know, they care about me succeeding within this company, and yeah, I love it.
LifeVantage is just great. I mean, I love it that they are never content with just standing still. I mean, they could have said with this breakthrough with NRF2 that they were done.
Yeah, but they don't. And they didn't, and they won't. They keep researching, they keep innovating, And instead of focusing on fads, they're using nutrigenomics to create products that people love and that people actually use.
That's the community I joined, a community that keeps on researching, keeps innovating. That's why we're a leader of the nutrigenomic field, because we keep building on our research.
My favorite part is that I get to be with my kids. I get to help people. It's not a job if it's something you believe in, it's a life.
Well, she says we're getting healthy and wealthy. I just call it freedom.
So excellent stuff there. Let me stop the share and come back with you guys now. So I think that, I watched that video and I see a lot of where my wife and I were with this when we were introduced to it. As I said, as we led into this last video, I think a lot of people can relate to that because they find themselves in their life many times not quite where they thought they would be. A lot of people go to school and they don't end up, working in a field that they went to school for many years and spent a lot of money in education to do so. Or like in my wife and I's case, we kind of jumped from one business to the next, and they were all very rewarding financially. But for us, we didn't do this for the money. We didn't make the transition to LifeVantage for the money per se, as the ability to have some more flexibility in our schedule. And that's what I hope for all of you, is that you see this as an opportunity to start to create some what we call leveraged income, not trading time for money anymore. And that's what this is really all about, is sharing with people that you would share with anyway, this information, just kind of like a movie. Like, if you get a good pair of shoes or a good movie or a good restaurant, you're going to talk to people. And if the restaurant's good, your friends are going to like it. If the movie's good, your friends are going to like it. And Pro Tandem and our products are the same way. They are good. And we know clinically through studies and just thousands now of people that are taking the product that it works. It's good. We get results. And so naturally, we're going to share that. And there's a way to get paid to do it. And so for the person that invited you to this, there are meetings that go on just about every day. We do virtual meetings like just in a couple days on Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, there will be a webinar that you can invite your guests to by simply sharing this information with them. And they can get this information from someone who's been around this a little bit longer than you, and they'll probably have some questions. That's one way. Or, get with the person that invited you here. There may be some local meetings coming up that they can point you in the direction of, or some phone calls, launch calls. The point is, within the next couple days to a week, there will be opportunities for you to start to participate with us as a distributor. But before you do that, the first step is you becoming a distributor with us. So step one is become a customer and start taking the products and get a distributor kit. And we have 3 kits. It's a silver, a gold, or a platinum kit. It's up to you with the person that brought you to this information to kind of decide what's best for you, where it fits for you, what's the best fit. And then from there, we launch your business and start sharing this information. And so we have an income earning statement that maybe some of the people have at the very meeting you're at. It's just a 1-page document that outlines the average incomes at the different ranks. And at this point, you don't know what ranks are, but it's simply sales volumes and the residual income, not trading time for money now, the residual income that is produced by being at those different ranks. And I would suggest you look at that document and you tell the person who invited you what you would like what would make an impact on your life. Many people, it's somewhere in that Pro 3 to Pro 6, Pro 7 range, actually Pro 3 to Pro 6, anywhere from, $400 or $500 to $5,000. Somewhere in there is a significant change in people's lives, or at a very minimal, their monthly checking account. We know that can make an impact for a lot of people. And so please get with the person that invited you here and let them know, hey, if I could get to this, you've got my attention. And then just simply let them share with you people that may be in the room with you right now that are that rank. They'll be more than happy to share with you how they got to that rank, what they did, and what you need to do to get to start to that rank. And I'm excited for you guys to start this journey with us. The team is absolutely amazing. We do this as an organization. We have fun with it. And truly, one of the best things you can do in today's world is expand your network. It never hurts to expand your network, and just becoming a distributor will do that with us as well. So I hope you join us. I hope you, if you're ready to sign up, someone in the room right now, raise your hand if you've got an iPad or a laptop or a paper application, and the people that are there will know where they can walk over to and get enrolled, get an ID number, and get started with us. So thank you for joining us for this portion of our Saturday morning. We're now going to roll into our training. So go ahead and pause the video here, and we've got a special guest joining us. My wife is going to be here with us for the training. So go ahead and hit pause real quick, and we are going to get this thing underway in just a little bit. Get signed up, get some drinks or a little snack, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. All right, so here she comes. There she is. She's bringing me some water. You guys, thank you so much for being a part of this second part of this training. This is my wife, Lynette. We've been doing this together since the very beginning. It was her that was contacted in the very beginning to take a look at this information. So we went through a process that maybe you've gone through, where we watched a video and we had some questions, didn't really know why we were being asked to watch the video, other than my cousin said she thought there was going to be something pretty big, and she was right. There was something pretty big.
Bingo.
The reason we're laughing is you guys may not know, but the people in the room could tell you that my wife and I have hit the rank of Master Pro 10, which had no idea that was going to happen at the time that we enrolled. You can never foresee that, I don't think, but it happened. And of course, if you saw that income earning statement, it's life-changing money. I can't even begin to tell you what life is like when in a month you can make what you were making in a year. And that's not what this training's about, but I'm just telling you it is possible.
Well, and I'd like to say, because I know that some of you guys are either brand new to our profession or even maybe looking at this for the first time. And just to be completely transparent, Brandon and I really did not believe that the income potential is what it actually is. Like our gut told us this could be something big. We didn't want to miss out on it. But the potential income, we just did not believe it to be even replacement income, let alone far exceed what we had ever earned in our lives. And that's why for me, my passion is as high as it is for sharing this with people, because I know what I brought to the table. I had no skill set. I had never done this before. I hated the idea of selling things to friends and family because that's what I perceived network marketing to be. And I wanted nothing.
That's probably the two reasons why we never did this, and maybe many people have never. Because number one, we didn't know anybody that had made any significant money doing it. And two, our thought was you had to go sell things to people that you didn't want to sell. So those two things were like, now we're out.
Yeah, like I don't want no part of that. And then because we didn't know anybody who had really made significant money, we're like, it's not worth our time. And so we had all of those thoughts, and yet here we sit in a completely different place in life, simply because we listened to our gut, because it was just our gut telling us that this was something we should do. Our head was saying, no, I don't want to.
So actually, she told me, it's the famous Jim Rohn thing. And that is, if you don't change something, nothing is going to change. And when you really think about, I hope you guys kind of digest that a little bit, right? Because you may be still wondering, like, I don't know if I can do this. It sounds great. What do I have to do? Do I have to, listen, let's just strip it back. If you don't change something, nothing is going to change.
And so to expand, like just to really make the most of what you're saying, if you changed nothing 5 years from now, what would your life look like? And would you be content with that? If the answer to that is yes, then yeah, you may not want to do anything with this. You may just want to benefit from the products because they're life-changing. But if you don't want to be in the exact same spot and you don't have a plan in place to change it, I've never seen a better vehicle than the one that you're being shared. So
yeah, and now, but there's some of you in here that are like, oh no, I'm ready. So let's get chatting. Let's go for the people that are ready. We're going to keep this very simple. We're going to cover some basics that we feel are necessary to get you to some of these first steps of getting your first customer, getting your first distributor, and then duplicating that. You're going to hear that word quite a bit in the next couple hours, days, weeks, years. Duplication. That is what this business is all about. Duplication is simply the art of getting other people to do the same thing over and over and over again. It's why cookbooks were created. It's why, if you want the food to taste the same, there is a recipe. And though there are different taste buds, if a dish is really good, you use the same ingredients, regardless of someone's taste buds. They can put a little different spice if they want, a little salt, a little pepper, right? But what we're telling you is already been stated. We've got something really good, and there's a simple recipe to follow. And that's really where we see people make the biggest mistakes is they come into a business like this and they feel as if it's too simple. Like, oh, no, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this. And I'm just going to tell you that the rules of engagement in network marketing are nowhere close to the rules of engagement in traditional business where you trade time for money and have to go sell things and convince people and have these sales tactics. That is not our business at all.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, and I started to talk before I meant to, sorry. But I was just thinking, you would never invest however much it is that you have to invest in a McDonald's franchise and then say, I think I'm going to play around with that French fry recipe. You would never do that. In fact, I don't think McDonald's would even allow it. But McDonald's is kind of what it is because of those French fries. You don't mess with that because that's a proven system. It's the same here.
Yeah, and we talked about this week. McDonald's has continued to, and I pick any fast food place, but they're like, I almost said Mac Daddy, which is kind of funny. Big Mac.
What is Mac Daddy?
Well, don't they have a Big Mac? I mean, yeah, they do.
And you're going to be a Mac Daddy. You keep eating those.
So, I don't know where we're going with this, but they made it so easy. You can just call out a number. When it's your turn to get to the register, you can say, give me a number 2. And they're just going to ask you the size of the drink or the fries or something. Like, we don't eat there a whole lot. So, but I do know there's numbers and there's combos, right? Like, you don't even have to tell them that you want a hamburger. You just yell out a number. That's how systematized things are. And we kind of have a system too. And we're going to share that with you. But first, just want to cover the basis for what network marketing is. And it is as old as time itself. What network marketing is, and it's sharing information. We talked about food. Think of a restaurant. If you have a really good meal, we moved into an area right now. We're on the west coast of Florida in a little town called Ellenton, which is near Bradenton and Sarasota. Love it down here. One of the things we love about this area is the lack of commercialism and the abundance of little mom and pop restaurants. And when we moved down here, we just love getting recommendations from people who have been here longer. They say, oh, you got to go eat at this spot, and you got to go eat at this spot. And then when our family comes in town, we have 2 or 3 more spots that we've got to take them. and we know they're going to enjoy it because we've been there a couple times. And this business is no different. It's absolutely no different. You're going to take the products, you're going to get results, and you're going to share it. You're going to take the products, you're going to get results, and you're going to share it. And when you share it, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to take the products, they're going to get results, and they are going to share it. It is far more effective than billboards, sharing word of mouth. It's far more effective than Facebook ads. It's far more effective than any sales technique, tactic in the books, is getting recommendations from people you trust.
Well, you know what I'm thinking too is I've been told about, a restaurant or, a hairdresser or something where even before I've ever even had a chance to have an experience with it, maybe my appointment hasn't come yet, or I haven't made it to the restaurant. But if I've heard enough about it and somebody says, hey, do you know of a good Mexican restaurant? Or do you know of a good hairdresser? I'm like, well, listen, I've not been personally yet, but this is what I've heard. And you guys, it's the same way, because I can tell you right now, we made a decision to get involved with LifeVantage, and we started sharing it like the second we were putting the pill in our mouth, we were sharing it. Not that we had even yet had an experience, but it's just that we believed in the science that had already been done. And we're like, this is huge. Like, this is a big deal. It's proven already.
And we trusted the relationship of the person that introduced us to it, who had a week or a couple weeks more education than we did, just like we would trust someone that recommended restaurants down here.
Right.
We didn't have to go do a bunch of research on the cook and where they got their food from. We just knew that someone we loved and trusted had been there, and they were just doing an act of kindness, or maybe we called them and said, hey, can you recommend? And they recommended, right? It's no different. That's what network marketing is. The hang up is twofold, but really it's the money part of this, right? When people feel as if they're going to make some money by their friends purchasing something, somehow that doesn't feel good to them. And so one of the early things that you can do in this business is try to remove the emotion out of the process. If you could just remove the emotion out of the process, because you're not making any money at the restaurant. You're not making any money when you send someone to get their hair done. You're not making any money when they buy the latest pair of shoes, right? So that's just easy to do, right? And so if you can get in that emotional state where you're happy to share because you're giving value, let's not focus on the fact that you're going to make some money. Let's focus on the fact that you're giving value to someone you care about, or someone you're going to see again. I mean, you might just run into someone at the grocery store, at the gym, and you're like, hey, you got to hear about this, and that's cool. You don't love them, right? You know them, right? But if you can just get to the point mentally and emotionally where you are just adding value to their life because you know more than they do. They know that much about Protandim and even less about nutrigenomics, oxidative stress, and all of the science and the peer-reviewed stuff that's there. You know, when you introduce Protandim or our other products to them, it's going to add value to your life. And if you can focus on that and forget about the money you won't be able to run from the money. The money will start following you. And that is what our business is just sharing information. And we're now in a share, they call it a share economy. And you see this more and more and more today, where big corporations are seeing the value and asking for you to refer your network. Delta does it. Like, Delta sends me emails every week. I like Delta. I like Southwest, and I like Delta. And I tell people, and I'm not going to say who I don't like, but there are some airlines that I would rather walk than fly on their airplane, because I don't think they're very nice people, and I don't want to give them my money. Okay, so I'm not going to refer them. But Delta's always asking for referrals from me to my network, and they're willing to give me 50,000 points, right? I think Best Buy will give you I don't know, one of them will give you, a bank, Citywide will give you a bank. If you refer someone to their credit card, they'll give you $50 and they're going to limit you to 10 referrals. Like they're only giving you $500, right? So LifeVantage, no cap. The more people you refer, the more people you share this with, you'll just keep getting checks and you're going to get paid 40% on that enrollment. So that is the essence of what network marketing is. Let's not complicate this thing. It is what you do when there's something you enjoy. You're only going to get paid now, and who doesn't want that? I think more and more today people are realizing you cannot count on one source of income, and it's smart to have multiple sources of income, especially if one of those sources is residual. Residual. I mean, it's one thing to have a second job or a third job to pay the bills, but the bad thing is it's taking your time and you got to go keep repeating that process to get paid. I think everybody should have at least one source of income that's residual, because if you do it long enough and do it right, before long, it could be your only source. And that's where I am, my wife, maybe some people that are in the room. And you can see with that income earning statement, that's residual. That is not like trading time for money. So let's get into some of the things that are going to help you get some of that residual income, kind of some basics that you need to do if you're going to participate on the money side of this thing. And one of the key things that we see people miss in the very beginning is what we call a subscription or auto ship. So if you do not have a subscription or an auto ship, you're not going to earn any money, no matter how many people you refer to this. So I'd almost say stop right now, but I don't want you to stop, right? But write a note in your notes, get an auto ship or subscription. We're calling it subscription because that's kind of the new terminology, like the Dollar Shave Club has started this subscription. Well, magazines have had subscriptions forever. And now you kind of see where magazines are transitioning to subscriptions, but digital subscriptions. So you get it every month, but it's not paper anymore. It's on an iPad or whatever device you have. And so make sure you get a subscription set up for you personally. And you're going to want to have 200, what we call PV, which is personal volume. And I don't want to get too much into the details of what that is, because we already have created tools for you in a checklist that kind of outlines this stuff. There's no need for us to dive into it. All you need to know is if you do not have a subscription, you will not earn any money. It is the basis for how our business works. Our business works by people consuming product. We don't make any money when people sign up. There is zero money to be made when someone signs up unless there is a product as part of that shipment. When product leaves the factory, 9 people get paid for that. 9 people get paid when product leaves the factory when it's on that subscription, right? And so make sure you get that set up. The next thing I kind of want to highlight is that checklist we talked about, and then Lynette is going to dive in a little bit into something we call the IT system with 2 T's, ITT. It's our duplicating system. But let's talk about that checklist just a little bit. Where can you find it? It is at teamtrueblue.org, not .com. .org, teamtrueblue.org. It's the first tab when you get there on your left. Let's see, was this working here? This is my left, but that's probably your left. I don't know how that's reversed, but you'll see it up there on the left side of the website. Getting started, there is a checklist that you can download with a video that accompanies the checklist that will help you go through some steps where we do talk about the auto ship and we do talk about some of the necessities that are there. So if that's foreign information to you, circle that in your notes right now. Checklist, go watch the video, download it, fill it out, and you'll want to schedule your appointment with your support team for your launch or your daily method of operation of how we're going to do this. But let's dive into this 3-step system of inviting, which is the I, to a tool, which is the T, the first T, and the second T is the team. Let's talk about that a little bit. And Lynette's going to help go through some of this stuff with you guys.
Yeah, the invite, it's where it all begins. And yet for some of us, it's the hardest step. For me personally, it was hard. And I had a goal every day as to how many people I intended on inviting to this. And every day I'd look at that list and I'd be like, oh, not yet, not right now. But I did hold my feet to the fire. I ensured that I reached out to the amount of people that I said I was going to reach out to, because the reality is doing something every day is what will get you to the goals that you want to accomplish. Excuses will not, right? So the reality is, don't think that, oh, it's just me if you have a hard time with this very first step. A lot of people do. It's okay. You'll get over it, and you'll succeed if you choose to get over it. So the invite, a lot of times people are like, well, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. Here's the thing. The less you say, the better off you are. That's why the ITT system works perfectly, because it's simply inviting someone to a tool. Anybody can invite someone to a tool because it's the tool that delivers the information for you. It takes the legwork out of it for you. And I think it's important that you understand why you're simply inviting them to a tool instead of divulging all the information. Because here's where I had a struggle, okay? I would invite a friend, hey, listen, I'd like for you to take a look at this. I'm super excited about it. It may or may not be for you, but you've got to see what it is. And then they go, well, what is it? Now, in the beginning, there were a couple people that I made the mistake of answering that question. Well, and I tell them, well, they'd ask another question, and I would attempt to answer that question in my stumbled way, because I really didn't know a lot to be able to answer the questions. Maybe they fired a third question at me. I would attempt to answer that. And at that point, they pretty much had decided, I know enough. I don't want anything. And I'm like, wait, you know nothing. I didn't tell you anything. I didn't give you any of the science. I didn't give you any of the significance of this product, of how it could help you. You don't know anything about the business. You know nothing. And yet in their mind, they knew enough to make a decision. And the reason that happened is because I answered their questions. I handed over control of the conversation to them. The one who's asking the questions is in control of the conversation. So
maybe you're going to say it. So your friends are going to ask questions.
Absolutely.
You're going to say, hey, this is an amazing thing, or however you're going to say it. And they're going to say, really? What is it?
And you know what? This is a reply that I found to be golden. Okay. Now this is just me. We all have different personalities. But for me, I would say, listen, this is too big for me to mess up for you. I'm new. I don't know enough about it. You've got to see it the way I saw it. When do you have 10 minutes? Yep. That is the best gift you can give them, because then you can't mess it up, right? The tool says the same thing every time. So you couldn't possibly mess it up. Were you going to say something else?
I'm just thinking, we have seen that as people join this business, you guys have to know, let me just say this, there's 120,000 people in Lynette and I's organization. And I'm not saying that to go, wow, I'm saying that because we have a large breadth of experience with people, large years of doing this with people. And I can promise you, we don't have 120,000 different stories of how people try to this business. It's only a few, right? Because of human tendencies. And when people are sharing this information and they're getting those questions asked to them, you run the mistake of starting to answer their questions, and you become what many people don't like about network marketing, and that is you turn into a salesman without even knowing. Because if they say something negative, you try to counterbalance that with some fact or detail, and you start trying to convince them to do this business. And it's exactly why people don't like network marketing. And here's the deal. We've noticed, because of dealing with so many people, that people have more success in the very beginning when they know nothing than once they know something. The more information they get, the more they feel like they have to share or impress or convince, and it works against them. So we will highly encourage you. Listen, we want you to do whatever, like, we do you, boo. Like, just go do you. Okay? Just go do you. Go share however you want to share. Whatever excites you, go do it. Okay? Because ignorance on fire is way better than knowledge on ice. Okay? Just go do you. But I'm telling you that once you start sharing, and we call it vomiting on your friends, they're not going to like that. So we see people have a whole lot more success in the beginning because they just don't know. So please, once you know everything, still act like you don't know for your friends.
Yeah.
And then once your friends start enrolling, then you can help your friends and you become the expert. And we're going to get to that in a second, I'm sure.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, is everything in this system, in this business duplicates, right? And so the super, super cool thing of simply inviting a person to a tool instead of answering all of their questions is that they can do that. So once they've gotten the information, the last question on their mind, if they are equipped with enough information to make a decision, the only question they have is, can I do this? Will this work for me? Can I do this? Now, if you have educated them on the science and the business and the comp plan, and you didn't use tools or you didn't use the team to help with that, you did it all, in their mind, they're going, I can't do what you did.
I don't want to do what you did.
So that's the significance of the ITT. You guys, it gives you leverage. It shows your contacts that they can do exactly what you did because all you did was invite them to a tool and then connect them to the team. The other thing I would say is that your kind of stance or your demeanor, your posture, that's the word I'm looking for, in sharing this matters. If your excitement is high, they're going to want to know, like, what is it?
I mean, think about the restaurant thing. Like, you know, if you think of the restaurant, you just don't go, oh yeah, the appetizers are great and they have these incredible, you're like, the facial expressions, you're using your hands and you're like, oh my gosh, it was so good. And the sauce, I mean, you're using your hands and your excitement, and this matters. And smiling matters. It matters. Your excitement matters.
Well, and here's the other thing, is you're not asking their permission, right? This is your business. You made a decision. You know what this can do for you and your family. So it's your decision, right? So when you're sharing it with them, that's your gift to them. That's your gift to them. That just like you were to go around and say, hey, would you like a stick of gum? If your friend says no to that stick of gum, you don't care. Like, you were just being nice. It's your gum. You obviously like it. On to the next one, like you offered to another friend. If they wonder or they don't, it doesn't matter. There's lots of people who want gum and need gum because they got bad breath. It's the same in this business. There's a lot of people who are looking for this. They need this. Chances are they don't know it exists and they don't know how good it is. That's our job. Our job is to get them the information. So your demeanor is
and get them the information the proper way, because as Lynette said, if you don't, you're setting them up for failure, or you're showing them exactly why they don't want to do network marketing. People are tired. People are busy. And when you start talking about all this science and comp plan, their thoughts are, I can't even do that, want to do that. And so that's why we're saying that it's so important you follow a system that duplicates, because what a lot of talented people miss about this business is its simplicity and the psychology of, because all they're used to is their own personal performance and getting paid for it. And that's not what this business is about. This business is about getting 100 people to do something simple so that you don't have to talk to 100 people. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, and here's the thing, you don't need 100 people to join you in this business. That's the phenomenal thing, is that you can grow a massive organization with a small group of people. So you can anticipate that not everybody's going to say yes, and it's okay, because you don't need everybody to say yes. You just need a small group who sees this the way that you see it. And Brandon gave an analogy a long time ago, and I've held on to it because it made so much sense to me. When a lot of times when people get in this business, they start to share it with people, and they're so like not sure that they kind of come across that way, like as if they're asking their friends buy-in or permission or whatever. It's like, know what you've got, own it. If you opened a brand new restaurant, if you went to your friends first and were like, hey, what are your thoughts? Do you think that I should open a restaurant? I've been tossing around the idea. Your friend's like, everything I've ever heard about opening a restaurant is that you have to work all the time. Like you're married to it. You never have a break. It's just like, dude, I don't know if you want to do that. I've just heard it's a chore. Okay. Now, next conversation or alternative conversation. Hey, I'm opening a restaurant. Friday night is my grand opening. I would love for you to come and support me. Now, what are they going to say? Completely different response, right? Like, oh yeah, that's awesome, man. I'll be there to support you. Completely different response. So it's because your decision's been made. You know what you're doing. You don't need them to be at your grand opening, but you'd like for them to. That's all. That's how you share this information. Listen, this is what I'm doing. Here's the tool I'm going to share with you.
So we've talked about the invite, and the way you invite is important. We've covered that, but the words that come out of your mouth, it can be different, right? Because some people are more excited about the product. Some people are more excited about the business. Some people are more excited about one of our products over another product. Guys, listen, we have scripts, but those scripts are not for you to be a robot. Please don't do that. Internalize the concepts behind the scripts, or internalize what someone that may share with you in this room, how they got people into the business, but please make it yours. Authenticity is what will get your friends to listen. The one thing Melissa did was she was authentic. She wasn't being stiff or salesy. She was authentic. And the other thing I want to add before we move on is the timing in all this. Some people get all wrapped up in getting told no and thinking that there's something wrong with the way they're doing it, or something wrong with LifeVantage or its opportunities or our team system. And that has nothing to do with the no. The no was, it's just bad for them right now. Because if Melissa would have introduced LifeVantage to us just 2 years prior, if she would have been introduced us to LifeVantage in 2007 versus 2009, it would have been an emphatic no. Because things in 2007 were going really, really good in our household, business-wise. We were on top of it. I mean, the business was clicking. I was not working crazy hours. And 2009 changed everything. Same people, same morals, same things we did for fun, we didn't like drastically change, other than financially, it changed the way we were living as a family.
I would say, though, that although our circumstance had changed, she still had to follow up many times.
At least 4 times.
Many times. Did Brandon watch that video yet? No, not yet.
So just be aware that the invites can be many, but we've laid out some concepts for you of how you can have some success there. The tool, the video, guys, it's simply the filter. It's there to find out if it's the right time or not. You're not going to know if it's the right. If someone tells you no before they watch the video, you said too much. There would be no way for them to say no unless you said too much. You said Pro Tandem, you said LifeVantage, you said something to get a no. You cannot get a no before they watch the tool if you didn't say too much. So that's kind of a little hint there for you, okay? Get them on the tool. The tool is the filter. Don't get offended. Take your emotions, set them on the side because it's not you. It's the time in their life. Follow up with them, as Lynette said. And then once you follow up with them, you're going to get just one or two things. They're going to be like, yeah, I'm ready. I want the product, or I see this, or I've got some questions. I mean, maybe it's a no, but they're going to have some questions. And this final step of this thing, the final T, is the team, right? So it's invite, tool, team. And the team is a critical part of this business. It's how we were enrolled. Without the team, we would not be here. 120,000 people would not be in our organization. And you may have heard about this, but it wouldn't be today. It may be years from now because someone used third-party validation for us. And I want you to explain third-party validation. I love the shoe analogy at the store. Explain why we need it, why and when it's more important than other times.
Well, it's funny how the human mind works, because it's, as a friend, you can tell a friend something, and in their mind, like as you're telling them all about, ooh, LifeVantage, protein on it, they're going, what do they want? What do they want me to buy? What do they need me to do? What do they, like their brain is just, whereas when a stranger is telling them, all of a sudden they're just listening. They're not asking all of these questions. They're just listening. And I've used the analogy of if you're like shopping at the mall and you go into the shoe store and you're trying on a shoe and here comes the sales lady and they're like, that shoe looks so good on you. You should totally get that shoe. You're like rolling your eyes like, girl, leave me alone. I know you're trying to make a sale. You, in your mind, are thinking your opinion has zero value because you're going to benefit financially from my decision. Now, a complete stranger walks by, hey, those shoes are super cute on your foot, and keeps walking. Immediately, you're like, maybe I should get those shoes. Like I was questioning, but if a stranger thinks I should, then I should.
If they're cute and they're on sale.
But it's the way that our minds work. So that's where the value of the team comes in. It also provides social proof. If you're like in a group setting, if you're able to have, an in-home meeting, or perhaps there's something in your area, or maybe this training right now, if you've got a group of people in a room having some snacks, whatever the case may be, it lets them know, okay, it's not just my crazy friend doing this. There's other people and they look kind of normal. So it provides social proof. And for whatever reason, our brains need that confirmation in those ways.
Yeah, and it is the essence of our business in that the business can run without you if you are getting proper duplication, and the team is that, meaning the easiest way to define if you have your contact to the team is if your contact is getting information, or more importantly, their questions answered, because they're getting information with the video. But if they're getting their questions answered and your lips are sealed, that's the team. That's why we call it the team, meaning get them to the team, where someone in your team, right, or in LifeVantage is helping to answer your prospect's questions. The beauty in that is if your prospect enrolls, then the same thing will duplicate. And I'm on this kick right now with explaining compression of time. And I'm going to do this very quickly because we have special trainings just on this. But it's why you want to use third-party validation. Because many, many times it happens everywhere. Someone is really good at doing three-way calls, or someone is the best presenter in town, and you want your people, like your prospects, you want them in front of the best presenter, or you want your prospects on the phone with the person who does the best three-way calls. Well, listen, that is not how this business works, okay? This business doesn't work if one person and one person only can be the person that brings your prospects into the business. Because what happens if that person decides they don't want to do phone calls, or that person decides they don't want to do presentations? What happens to your business? It's done, all right? And so what you want is the ability to compress time. And what's that mean? Let's just use a round number like 10, okay? Because Lynette and I, when we came into the business, she was doing 3 to 5 calls a day. I was doing 3 to 5 calls a day. So let's just call it 5. Sometimes we did less, sometimes we did more. But let's say you're really crushing it in life, like business, you're just busy and things are going, and you can only manage, like, I can make 10 phone calls a day. Okay, I can call 10 people, or I can text 10 people, however you communicate with people, not email. No invites through email, guys, don't do that. No invites through email, all right? Invite through however you normally communicate with people, and that's typically not emails, okay? Nevertheless, I do my 10. And I do my 10 enough till I find someone that sees what I see and they join. And let's just keep it simple. They can do 10 phone calls as well, okay? That means immediately we're getting 20 phone calls a day. They're doing 10, I'm doing 10, and I'm getting 20 phone calls a day. And I'm getting paid for it. I'm doing my 10, but getting paid on 20. And then we do that together, and we find another. And now that's 30 with just 3 people, right? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to stretch this out a little bit to, what if it's 100 people on your team? Because it will be. We have more than 100, and they're doing 10 calls. That's 1,000 calls in a day. And so if I can only manage 10 calls a day, but yet my team is doing 1,000, it's easy math. It would take me 100 days. It would take me almost a third of a year to do what my team is doing in one day. That is time compression. That is why I am so passionate about in this business, because there are people just like us, just like you probably, that got to a stage in life where you were a little restless with either how much money you're making or how much time it was taking you to make it, or maybe you just didn't like the people you were around and you're thinking, what am I going to do now, right? And you're like, I can't mess around because I'm not 15 years old. I'm not 20 years old anymore. And so for you and for us, we needed to compress time. We were 37. And I didn't want to work another 20 years. I wasn't going to start in a new career and try to figure something out. I didn't want her to have to go work another job when we had 2 kids at the house, right? And so what we were able to do by following a system is compress time. And guys, it's unbelievable. If you look at that income earning statement, look at that income earning statement. Look at the Master Pro 10 income. And just ask yourself, how long will it take you to earn that money? And that's monthly. Okay, and for some people, it's a year. So that's exactly the point. And some people, it's 2 years. And for some people, it's 3 years, what the Master Pro 10s are making in a month. So that's what I'm talking about. If you follow a duplicating system, you can compress time where you're literally making a year's income in a month. Or what if it was just, what if you had to work, 6 months to make what you can make in a month here? It's compression of time that is unlike anything else we've ever seen. And it's only possible through duplication. And it's only possible, duplication's only possible if it's simple. Kind of like the McDonald's thing. Give me a number 1, give me a number 2. And that's why you have to stay. You don't have to do anything. We highly recommend that you follow the Invite Tool Team system so that you can just do your 10 calls because it's manageable. You can do that and your life doesn't fall apart, right?
Well, and it also sets up that duplication. If you want people to come in and do those same things, you just kind of set the bar. And so, not to say everybody will, everybody runs their own business. They do what they want to do. But for me, for Brandon, we're like, okay, this is what I'm going to commit to. And we committed to it. We did it.
Yeah. So we hope that helped you guys from kind of some of the basics. Thank you so much for being a part of the training. Always love having variety in these trainings, and I'm glad that she was able to share that with you. I'm going to jump into some of these other quick things.
Okay. All right.
And we'll
see y'all later.
We'll see her later. All right. So let's talk about real quick, just staying connected. We talk about this in the checklist. We have 2 Facebook groups, Life Biohacked and Team True Blue. They are designed for your new people to connect that are looking, and then for the distributors who've got ID numbers to stay engaged and see what's going on in the team. So make sure you're there. We have a YouTube channel that where we post stuff like this. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's the quickest way. Like, the people who are subscribed to the YouTube channel are going to know about this training first. And there's a bunch of other stuff that's there. So make sure you're there. We do a Monday call at around 12 o'clock Eastern. That is the latest and the greatest of what's going on in trainings and the teams and things that are happening there. So just wanted to mention that to you. Now, let's jump into something that it's a little bit more advanced than what is needed if you're brand new. But nevertheless, it's information that's important if you want to get to Pro 3. And this whole training is designed around getting people to Pro 3. And some people are kind of visual. They're like, okay, I get it. I understand. I got to go talk to some people, and I need to use a tool, and I need to keep my mouth closed. But I still don't understand, how do I make money? Like, how does it work? Okay. So we created a little PowerPoint. I'm going to share my screen here again. And we're going to bring up, where are you? Right there. Okay, let's see if I can pull this over. Maximize this bad boy. There we go. We'll hit play. So we call this our map to Pro 3 and how to earn $7,000 this year. That's a little under $600 bucks. A little under $600 a month. I know that sounds good to you. A lot of people join network marketing opportunities just to make a few bucks, maybe a few $100. And that's really what this is all about. In fact, the masses, if you do the numbers or know the numbers, about 80% of the people that join a network marketing company are joining the company to make a few $100 a month. And so we understand that. And we understand that a few $100 a month can make a major impact in people's lives. And so we created a simple system. The system's there. Simple steps that we want you to follow so that we can ensure that you can make some money, right? And step 1 is that 200 PV. It's what everything revolves around. And so we've already talked about it a little bit. We have plenty of videos on it, but it's step 1. And what I want you to understand is there's no need to go to step 2 until you've accomplished step 1. So for those that are watching this, if you don't know what PV is, ask. If you don't have 200 PV, ask, will you help me get to 200 PV? And they're going to say, sure, we need to go invite some people. How do we do that? Number 1, just tell the people that you're working with that are helping you in the team what products you want in your home every month. What is going to be on your subscription, okay? Once we know that number, all we have to do is go out and get some customers, and your customers' total purchases, their points, their PV, purchase, not purchases. So funny in our group because we've got so many people so talented, and I was terrible in English. I'm sure I'm just destroying the English language when I'm speaking here. So I'll always get 5 or 10 messages like, oh, that's not how you say that word, but that's okay. I hope you get the gist of it. Go get some customers, all right? And make sure that you have more than 200 points. And in doing so, you can go to step 2. I hope that's clear. Let's go to step 2, right? So you've got your 200 points, whether it's through your own purchase in your home where you or your family is going to use, or that plus the purchases of your customers, personal customers. Step 2, guys, is to go find some people that see what you see. They want to use the products. They also want to share in sharing. They're like the restaurant people, like, hey, you know, listen, one of the things you can do is go find some people who like to talk to people and start there, or find some people who have some influence, who know a lot of people, and share this with them. That doesn't mean that that's going to be your only step contact, but we want people who want to talk. If you don't talk, nothing's going to happen. Like, we've got to talk, right? But say less to more people. That's something you should adhere to. But go find some people who want to participate in this opportunity as well, whether they want a little or a lot. Go find 3 of them. That's a key number, all right? Go find 3 of them. So no need to go to step 3, really, until you've got some people that are going to do this with you, right? Now, what's step 3? Step 3 is kind of a blend, though, because as soon as you get your very first person, you want to help them get 200 PV. Now, how are you going to help them doing that? It's with Invite Tool Team. Here's what I want to be clear on right now. Don't ever prejudge. Don't invite people just to look at a product. Don't invite people just to look at a business. You allow them to decide what they want. So how are you going to get these 3 people? You're going to invite to the tool, to the team. They're going to decide by asking you questions. If they're asking you questions just about the product, well, then that's a good indication. If they're asking you about both, that's a good indication, okay? But you're going to accumulate customers and distributors at the same time. We get this question all the time. What am I looking for? Customers or distributors? Both. You're looking for both, but you're allowing them to decide who they are, not you. That is not your job to decide what they want or who they're going to be. Okay, now, but from the moment you get your first distributor, you want to start helping your first distributor get their 200 PV, whether it's through their purchases or their customers' purchase, okay? And along the way, you're going to continue to start to get your own distributors and duplicating that, helping them get 200 PV. Now, no need to go to step 4 until you've helped those people get their 200. Because if you do so, we cannot promise you the income that this PowerPoint will display, because you're skipping steps, all right? So go get 3. If you don't have 3 distributors yet in your organization, continue to do the invites, the tool, till you get 3. Then once you get those 3, it doesn't mean you stop enrolling distributors. Keep enrolling distributors, but don't go to step 4 until you've helped those 3 get a solid foundation so that they can get paid with 200 PV. I hope that's clear. The final step is just duplicating that one more level down. So what you're going to do is you're going to get 3 distributors and you're going to work 3 levels deep, right? So it's really kind of cool the way this is working, right? What's this all about? Getting to Pro 3. How we're going to do that? We're going to go do that with 3 people that you enroll, right? And those 3, you're going to drive that organization 3 levels deep. 3, 3, 3, right? What's that look like? It looks like this, okay? So for the people that are more visual, you're loving this. For the people that are like not visual and not numbers, you're like, your mind may be going to mush right now. So if you're not digging this, it's okay. Just go talk to a lot of people about what you're excited about, like a movie, like a restaurant. And I'm just telling you, the money is going to show up. Okay. This is for the people that want some specifics. This is for the people who are maybe already Pro 1 or Pro 2, trying to get to Pro 3 and don't understand why maybe they're not getting some of the things that they had hoped for. These are for the people that go, wait, I don't get, okay, I go talk to people, but show me exact, I need specifics, okay? We got a lot of engineers out there that want specifics. So here it is. 3 people in the first line, 200 PV, that's 600 OV, that's organizational volume. Our unilevel, this is just one bonus, guys. This is not the Smart Start. This is not matching. This is not global. This is not anything other than the unilevel, all all right? Because it's the only one that it's highly predictable based on the numbers that we can plug in here, right? You're going to earn $12. Not very exciting. Stick with me, okay? Because that was your work. Now, when it starts to duplicate, okay, when you get leverage, check this out. You now have 9 people, 200 PV, that's 18 OV, organizational volume. You get paid 5%, which is $90 plus the 12, which is $102. And that's residual. It's residual. Every month this is coming in. And that's just with you getting 3 and them getting 3. Guys, we're only talking about 12 people in your organization, not 100,000, 12 people. And you're making over $100 a month residually. You can have some fun with that. And for some people, it can pay for some things, all right? Now, if you will just stick with it, one more level deep. If you will go help those people, those 9 people, and you'll know some of these people because friends kind of know friends, and drive it one more level to the 3rd level. It's 27 people on that level. That 200 PV doesn't change. Now it's 5,400 OV at 9% commissions, $486 plus the 90 plus the 12. And if you look at the bottom in green, the ovals, this is the totals. 39 people, 7,800 PV, $588 in commissions you will receive on the 15th of every month. Every month. Someone asked me, how much money did you make in your first month of business, Brandon? And the answer was, I don't know. And they're like, what do you mean you didn't know? And I'm like, I'm still making money from the people I brought in this business the first month. In fact, at this point, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars I've made in my first month because they're still in and I don't have to go educate them again. I don't have to enroll them again. And they're telling people who are telling people who are telling people. It's getting paid over and over and over again. Guys, this $588 doesn't happen once. It's going to happen in December. It's going to happen in January. It's going to happen in February. And obviously, if we get to this point in your business, Pro 3, you're going to keep going because all you have to do is continue the process. Now, we do have a different training and a different map to Pro 5 that is some of the basic steps here, just with some additions. But I hope this makes sense to you guys. This is it. This is how the money shakes down. And honestly, 7,800 is well beyond Pro 3. You're on your way to Pro 4. 7,800, it's only 5,000 organizational points to get to Pro 3. So you're midway to Pro 4 already. And so I hope this PowerPoint kind of helps you guys with what it looks like to get to Pro 3, the map to 3. So we have that available at teamtrueblue.org in the tools section, the map to 3, it's there. Go download it, study it, share it, however you want to do. We're almost wrapping this thing up for you guys. I'm just going to tell you, we just spent a couple amazing days with John Maxwell. For those that you don't know who John Maxwell is, he has sold 6 million books. He is probably the world's foremost leader in thought in personal development sectors. He literally is sought after by presidents of countries to improve the mindset of the leaders of those countries. He's in school. He's just amazing. I mean, the guy, and we were at his home last night. We had dinner at his house last night. And he's written amazing books. And there's something I just want to share with you out of one of his books. One of it is The Law of Diminishing Intent. And the reason I bring this up is basically the law of diminishing intent is the longer you take to do something, better chance you'll do nothing. The longer it takes for you to do something, the better chance you'll do nothing. That's the law of diminishing intent. And so don't fall into that law. It's not a if it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen, all right? And also he says, quotes Warren Bennis, says, a mistake is simply another way of doing things. And I love that. Because you're going to make a mistake, you're either going to get it right or you're going to learn. Like you're either going to win It's not win or lose. If you do something and you make a mistake, you didn't win, you just learned. Okay? And you didn't lose. But if you'll do it enough, you're going to start winning. You never lose. You just learn, all right? The last thing I wanted to share with you is from Jim Rohn, and I'll share with you this book, right? I'm sharing you these really amazing quotes because I want you to take a look at this book. And it says, you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. And all of these quotes are coming from this book, right? John Maxwell, 15 Laws of Growth, all right? Invaluable Laws of Growth. Great book. Now, what I would say, though, is start with this one, okay? And I'm not saying go read these books before you start sharing. Lynette and I didn't. What I am sharing with you now are things that helped us in those early stages. This book, Your First Year in Network Marketing, it's got some age to it. It was written in the 80s. So there's some things in here that are outdated, but it's really, really good content because it begins to set you up mentally for what you are embarking on. If you've never been highly successful in network marketing, you have done it before. Well, listen, if you've done it before and you quit, it means you weren't making a bunch of money. I mean, I don't see any other way around it unless, you know, you just got bored of the money. I don't know. It usually means it just wasn't right and you're redoing it, which I love. But what I want you to understand is that unless you've made a high five-figure, like, you know, 60, 70, 80 grand a month, it probably means you still have a lot to learn. And if you've made six figures, I can promise you still have a lot to learn because there's just some things in there that will help you get to those really, really good incomes. You know, there's things in here that I would love to share with you. Just you can go on and on and on. But one of the things I just want to highlight is this. One of the things it says in here that is one of the biggest mistakes people make is this. It says, the largest cause of failure results from listening to people who do not know what they are talking about. One of the largest mistakes you can make is listening to people who do not know what they're talking about. So you're going to start inviting people to this. They're going to get the information, and then they're going to start telling you why you don't know what you're talking about. The problem is the people that are giving you that advice or their thoughts probably have never been in network marketing, or they've been in network marketing and never made any money. Okay. And so if you find a network marketer that has made a lot of money, they are not going to tell you to not do network marketing. They're just not. The point is, if you want to know if network marketing works, don't ask someone that's failed at it. Okay. You need to ask someone that has experience and ask them what did they do, because it does work. It works every day. Today and every day, someone is earning $200 million. Not someone, a lot of people. But in the world, daily, people are earning $200 million in commissions. I don't know how you say that it doesn't work. 200 million people. There's 200 million reasons why it works today and tomorrow. So I'm just going to advise you to get this book, Your First Year in Network Marketing. Don't read the book instead of inviting to the tool to the team. You do this after you've done those invites, keeping it simple and all the things we've said today. I just wanted to share that with you. I think it's a great way for you to start to learn. Also, check this out. We got some swag for the team. It's a nice hoodie. We got hats. We got hats for the chicks. We are doing another swag drop pretty soon. So if you want some True Blue gear, if you love repping who we are and being a part of this amazing community, we got some stuff for you, right? And we once every month or so, we'll do a swag drop so you can get some gear if you want it. And it's wintertime, so it's long sleeve, it's hoodie. It's really, really nice. January 5th will be our next virtual workshop. So just like this, so roughly in 4 weeks, you can have a room full of people, of your people, How awesome would that be to come to the next one with 5, 10, 20 people of your own people and get that virtual training? We'll have some different people doing that training. And we have a tentative launch for our hair care system coming up on December 17th. Monday, December 17th at 7 p.m. Mountain is a tentative time. Not in ink yet for when we're going to do this launch for the hair care. That's been absolutely amazing. Results are just crazy. Nerve 2 activation. We don't even know how big this is going to get yet, guys. We know it's big already. There's a lot of results. The Vitality Stack is insane. That's my favorite product. I mean, that Vitality Stack, guys, just get on it. If you're only on Nerve 2, get that Vitality Stack. It's insane. I can't go a day without it. Has changed my day because of those products. So anyway, thank you guys so much for being here with us today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you can share this with some people that are needing to get to Pro 3. And we look forward to your feedback inside our Team True Blue Facebook group. Let us know what you thought of these trainings. And you guys have a fantastic day. Hang out with the people that are there. You won't believe the amazing people that are in our networks. Ask questions. Ask about backgrounds. Ask why they joined. Ask their story. Just walk up to people in the room and say, hey, what's your story? Why are you here? Tell me about the products, and stick around this amazing group of people. And I hope to see you at our next LifeVantage event. Bye-bye for today.